Hi to all my fellow midzys. Now before I start the video in a moment, let me reassure you that I have been a huge fan of ITZY since pre-debut, so don't even come for me and call me whatever. I have been there and done that. I have supported them through good and bad. I have traveled 10 hours to attend one of their Born to Be concerts. I even have a cute ITZY bottle, y'all. So without further ado, let's hop right into the pot of gold. Before I give you my gold predictions, I want to analyze why ITZY's popularity has sadly faded in the last couple of years. Well, faded. They might not generate the same number of views on YouTube and such like they did during their first few comebacks anymore. However, their music sells very well to this day, and they just toured the world for a second time, filling large concert halls all across the globe. Not only that, ITZY's charisma is, after all these years, still second to pretty much none in the K-pop industry. No, really, the only other active girl groups who are on their level or who can barely hold a candle to them when it comes to charisma are 2NE1 and Blackpink. And if that's what you like to call unsuccessful, untalented, and unpopular, then thank God you are not my boss, because you'd receive that resignation letter in no time, without any warning that is. And I would even go on sick leave in case you refuse to terminate the contract and take me off the shift schedule immediately. Now, a lot of times when I see other people's reasonings as to why ITZY are not as popular as during their Dalla Dalla or Wannabe era anymore, it kinda goes along the lines of,
JYP is not promoting them efficiently, Leah is a lazy dancer and a bully, their music is too noisy,
blah blah blah. Yet alright. Let me give you my perspective now. While these reasons certainly weigh in on the debacle to some extent, I call bullshit on them mostly though. Especially that promotion one. Do Blackpink ever show up anywhere they are supposed to, like variety shows or music award shows? They barely ever do, and still they are on top of the game in terms of success. In my opinion, what tarnished ITZY's bright career the most were a bunch of weak or straight-up embarrassing title tracks, given by their producers and JYP, as well as questionable and messy music video choices. Not only that, ITZY are a very dance-heavy group, and while that is certainly cool in a lot of ways and they certainly gave us amazing choreographies over the years, it got very repetitive and tired after, let's say, Mafia or Loco. I will give you an example of what I mean with this twice meme. Get my gist? Do you understand? But it is not just the dancing and the choreographies that got repetitive and kind of messy and all over the place. The music videos suffered from that curse too, especially with ITZY. You know the saying, sometimes less is more, and not only that, sometimes you need to give the audience something fresh and unexpected, and yet ITZY were orchestrated by their company to become sort of a one-trick pony in a lot of ways. Instead of letting their charisma shine more, they pushed them into the dance your asses off and let's make sure the music videos are filled to the ceiling with colorful obnoxious stuff, corner. With all of that being said, let me take a deeper dive and dissect things now. I recall that a lot of K-poppies got tired of their noisy electronic sound when they dropped I Am Me, and their insanely popular title track Wannabe, which is still their biggest hit according to streams and views. And listening to these unimportant peasants, meaning the aforementioned smart-ass K-poppies, was JYP's biggest mistake. Listen, I don't mean to say that they should have always released noisy electronic bangers, because we all know what that did to Everglow's career. It's more than fine for any artist or group to experiment with their sound and target other genres here and there, but that noisy electronic sound was undoubtedly fitting them the most in hindsight, and sadly they orbited so far away from their original sound concept while experimenting, that you hardly recognize them from their earlier more popular days anymore. Their next comeback would be Not Shy. Okay, let me take a deep breath now, give me a hot moment to regain myself before we start with the critiquing. I really liked Not Shy. It is funky, cute, and has one of the best lines in any ITZY song. however. Wild West concepts were always more flops than pops in K-pop as far as I can remember, and the song was overall not strong enough to carry a whole comeback, especially after that monster of a track and album, Wannabe, and I Am Me, in my opinion. Next up is Mafia, and just like Not Shy, I really liked Mafia after the third or fourth listen. It is cool, mysterious, and the choreography was among the best of the year. I didn't even mind the fact that it sounded quite minimal in terms of production compared to their previous stuff, but then again, just like Not Shy, Mafia in the Morning was still not strong enough to carry a comeback and maintain the level of fame paved into the walks of K-pop stardom by Dalla Dalla, ITZY and Wannabe. When they released Loco, a lot of fans and listeners have already lost faith in them and their team. Personally, I am okay with Loco. It has got its strengths and I was hooked for a while, but I wasn't going crazy for that 2000s pop rock inspired sound, to be frank. Alright, now before we talk about the elephant in the room, the ugly bitch in the mirror, before we enter the belly of the beast, here is a funny clip to cheer you up. Sneakers. I will try to keep this short and sweet because I want absolutely nothing to do with this awful song or time in their career. Whoever picked this song and decided to make it the title track of an already struggling group, just to further tarnish their endless potential, I hope you got fired eventually and that you will never be able to set foot in the industry again. I don't freaking care if it was popular in Korea. There is an extra special place in hell for whoever selected this as their title track. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't mind if it were the second title track of a comeback album, but girl, the writing is on the wall and it clearly says, Sneakers was their ultimate fandom cleanse. After Sneakers came Cake. I like Cake a lot, but I disagree with whoever said that it is on the same level as ITZY. Sit down. What's baffling me is that ITZY were already struggling after that Sneakers disaster, and yet JYP decided that what they needed now, apparently, was cake, throwing it metaphorically right into their faces. And again, not strong enough of a track to undo what has been done, unfortunately. After that came Cheshire. Actually, I think that they should have skipped Sneakers and Cake altogether and just released Cheshire after Loco and saved the latter two as album tracks or whatever. Why? I know that Cheshire did not do too well either. People simply didn't care about ITZY as much at that point anymore, and I think that Cheshire's music video was pretty much ass. But the song was really fun and catchy in my opinion, a bit too pitched in the chorus, but still a cool banger, and it attempted to steer them back to their more electronic and noisy sound, which is why it has got my biggest respect. Another reason why I would have skipped Sneakers and Cake in favor of Cheshire is because after Cheshire we got Born to Be and Untouchable. To be honest, I couldn't care less about Born to Be. It is a pretty generic song in my opinion, even though the MV slaps. Untouchable, however, did everything right. Even if the K-poppies disagree with me, it was electronic but not too noisy, well produced, really hip and funky, great choreo parts, and the video was cool too. But then again, at that point the fandom cleansing was apparent and seemingly irreversible, not to mention that K-pop got worse and worse in the past 2 years anyways, and a lot of people I know quit listening to K-pop. K-pop club nights in my area were not frequented as well anymore, and the damage of the insane westernization of the sound of K-pop was done. But it is quite paradoxical at the same time if you ask me. I mean, even though I think that Untouchable was a great title track choice, it did horrible in terms of streams and online popularity, and yet their world tour was a huge success and sold a bit more than 300,000 tickets, and all of that despite Leah's absence. Sigh. Anyways, after a lot of rambling, let me jump straight into my hopes and predictions for Gold. ITZY near their 7th year, and we all know that many groups didn't make it past their initial 7 years contract. Not only that, that whole Gold title thing reminds me of how other artists would use that title for compilation albums, which is not necessarily the best sign, but if JYP really loves his ITZY girls and did not forget about their potential, he will make sure that gold will actually go for gold and go back to their debut roots. I am talking ITZY's most popular early eras sound. A sassy club banger about finding strength through togetherness and confidence in the eye of the storm. Strong and interesting but distinctive music videos with great visuals. A choreography that nobody will be able to hide from, and another world tour in 2025, but this time with Lia. When it has come to my attention that Them Joints is responsible for their title track, I was through the roof, since he produced many popular songs and hit songs that I have personally liked too, such as Cockiness by Rihanna, Universe by NCT, Step Back by the Silly Girls, Tank by NMIXX and Supernova by aespa. So with that being said, again, believe me you when I tell you that the promotional material better not be misleading this time, like it was in the case of Snickers and Kill My Doubt. And believe me you that we will better not get another weak generic title track, or else you can be absolutely certain that me and my crazy bitches will roll up to their addy. We will bring our baseball bats and smash JYP's mailbox to pieces, among other horrible things. Be afraid, be very afraid JYP. Anyways, since the comeback and title track are titled Gold, I hope that they will really go for gold this time as mentioned before, and that they are about to deliver like they mean it. No more messy music videos and chaotic choreos. No more Snickers sounding bullshit. When I see gold written next to their group name, I immediately think of the bombastic entrance they made during the Dalla Dalla debut music video and the overall majestic visuals of the video. Let's hope that JYP gives us nothing but greatness, hitness, and don't play with us ness this time, or else our ITZY girls might as well just walk back into that elevator and never look back. Dear ITZY girls, please don't go down the same route Miss A, Wonder Girls or 2 anyone did. Please stay with us for another fabulous 7 years and bedazzle us with your charisma, fierceness, and uniqueness. And one more thing. Please give them 2 or 3 days of sleeping before filming the music videos for Gold and Imaginary Friend. After all, we want to see our girlies well rested and happy. Peace out and have a great day, unless you stan baby monster. Just kidding. Bye loves.